yourself in would were prohibited, not available in the state of shop.
Dan Schinder here on Drum Talk TV with Mike Portnoy again. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here.
Good. Great to see you. What's new? That's my first question.
Since I saw you last, I can't remember what we talked about last time.
I think that was October. It was on the onset of your Winery Dogs tour.
Right. So what's happened since then? Well, the new Transatlantic album comes out this week. And I'm about to do a 6-week tour with them, America, South America, Europe. I'm doing a Prog Cruise in the middle of that,
right.
Progressive Nation at Sea with like 40 bands and 5 stages, and really a dream project for me. And then back to work with the Winery Dogs pretty much for the rest of the year. And also,
that's great.
There's a big Elf album that I played drums on too that's coming out in March too. So that's
great.
In a nutshell what's happening at the moment.
Go to the new album coming out. How might it be different than the other material that you guys have done?
Transatlantic, are you talking about? How is it different? It's not that different. It's kind of like what we do with, is the big 30-minute prog epics. That's what we do.
Great.
So it's our 4th album. That we started as a side project back in the 90s, and here we are 4 albums later. So it's obviously something that's, going to be a part of our lives for, forever. So yeah, we enjoy working together, and for me, it's a great prog outlet, because the Winery Dogs is something, and I have all these other things, but Transatlantic to me is still the big prog thing in my life.
That's cool. Is that partly why you're so excited about the Prog Cruise, just because of the spirit of that type of music?
I mean, I'm always going to be a prog guy. I may also be a metal guy. I mean, I did the Metal Masters show last night with the guys from Slayer and Anthrax and Pantera. I mean, I'm at home doing the thrash metal thing, but I'm also a prog guy, and now I'm at home doing the classic rock thing with the Winery Dogs. I mean, I'm just a music fan.
Yeah.
And all those things are important to me. But the prog thing, I mean, that was what I kind of became known for since the start of Dream Theater.
Right.
So I'll never abandon that. That'll always be a big, big part of anything I do.
Right.
And I'll always make sure it's, on the agenda in one form or another.
Right. I was talking to John Hummel earlier, who's a huge Yes fan, and I'm a huge Yes fan. We kind of netted it down to Tales from Topographic Oceans being such an imprint on our musical influence. Where does that album sit with your musical taste for prog music when we talk about epics and everything? That's why I bring it up.
Well, I happen to love that album. I know a lot of people don't.
I love it. I think that's my Stuck on an Island album.
Right.
If I can only have one, that's it, because there's every style of music in it, basically.
Right. Well, I mean, my favorites are the big 3 that preceded it. Close to the Edge is number 1, then Fragile, and the S album. Those 3 are the big 3. I also love Drama and Relayer, which came later. I mean, I love pretty much the whole 70s catalog of Yes, big time. Yeah. But I love Tales. I think there's some great stuff on there. It's a very overlooked album.
Yeah.
One of the great things about the cruise I'm doing with Progressive Nation is that Transatlantic is going to do a whole Yes set with John Anderson singing.
Right.
So we're going to be John Anderson's backup band for a Yes set.
Can you say what you're going to play?
When you turn the camera off, yeah.
Okay. Last question. What is Winery Dogs going to put out a new album then?
We're still focused on the first album. There's a lot of life in there, and we're putting out a special edition and a box set of it in April. And that's when we'll resume touring and stay out pretty much for the rest of the year. So, once we once we finish the touring cycle for the first album, then absolutely we look forward to a second album. We can't wait.
I'm glad that that's something that is going to be not just something you guys did,
No.
because the music's so valid. I don't know how else to say it.
It's a real band. Me, Billy, and Richie all are treating it as a priority for all 3 of us.
Great. Mike, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Again on Drum Talk TV with Mike Portnoy. Have a great show.
Thank you.